Welcome to Imperfect Momming. Our children are constantly looking to us for examples. The term role model doesn't quite cut it here. We are shaping their worldview with every move we make. You see, it's not in the lectures we give or moments where we are actively attempting to teach them. It's in the micro movements we make, the unconscious ways in which we navigate life. We are constantly teaching our children how to show up for themselves, their friends, their future partners, and even their future children. So what can we do to ensure we are raising thoughtful, compassionate, self-aware human beings? We have to become them ourselves. No one is perfect, but we can still all be better, and it starts with self-healing. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Mom Happy Hour. And if you're listening on the podcast, welcome to the Imperfect Momming podcast. Melanie and I are here today for our very last Mom Happy Hour.
Wow, but we're here for the last happy hour. And then next week, we're going to be starting our very first community and conversation. Or we haven't quite decided on the name exactly yet, if it's going to be coffee and community and conversation, or just community and conversation, or support group, but it's going to have a little bit of a different format, and we're super excited.
But you'll get to BYOB, and is it BYOB or BYO drink?
Bring your own beverage.
BYOB. I was like,
BYOB sounds like better,
beer.
Doesn't it?
It sounds
Oh,
like
really?
beer.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I was like, I know that we're not talking about beer. Anyway.
But you can bring beer if you want. I mean, whatever works.
Whatever works.
No, absolutely, seriously, like there's truly no judgment here. So, and I think we said we're going to, I know we said we're going to do that on Tuesday. We're going to be doing it on Tuesdays at 9
a.m. East Pacific Standard Time.
And then what it's going to be is we're going to initially start it this way. We will do our talk or our topic, whatever the conversation is, and then we're going to invite whoever wants to come onto Zoom to actually be a part of the conversation. And that may look different and evolve and morph, but we're really excited because we really, really want to offer a space, a safe space, which we will be setting up each week, where we can come and just talk and have conversations about whatever it is we're dealing with. And if there's questions or just comments, or you just, parents just want to talk. And actually, I'm going to bunch it over to you, Alish, and just to talk about like how the community, we actually did a community in person last night, which is part of how this is evolving, is we've been doing them in person and we'd like to offer them virtually.
Yeah, so that was the next thing I was going to say, is it actually kind of leads into our topic today too. But we got together there was 6 of us last night in person, and we had dinner and tea at like a tea ceremony. It was really kind of cool, and we just got to be with each other. And some of us are moms and some of us aren't, but we're all women. And we're all human. And so we connected on this super deep level. And we were all agreeing that this is something that we're missing, even if we're doing it virtually. Like, this is a safe way to have community where you still get to be with or around your kids and not sacrifice friendship. So we are talking today, or last night we talked about how resting is doing. Do you remember how Lori put it? It was something along
it was so good.
Seriously,
like as we were sitting around talking, and one of the friends, one of the ladies who was here is actually someone who I'm coaching. And she's not a mom of external physical kids herself, but she has godchildren, and she's working on a program where she works with teenagers, and she's doing a lot of work with kids. And so, which is part of what our platform is, right, is raising enlightened children, is that no matter whether we're raising children external to ourselves, or we're touching the lives of children, we are impacting children. And so, and then the other piece of it is that the other person that we're raising is the internal child inside of ourselves. And I think that's partly how the conversation came up, was really about, oh, I know. So one of our friends just had a quite a serious heart issue, and she is like a doer, right? Like, I mean, just her job, what she's doing, what she's doing in the world, et cetera, et cetera. And she had a heart issue where she literally was told that she had to rest for 2 weeks. Like, that was it. That was all she was allowed to do. And she has ended up, like, she has these puppies, and she ended up putting these puppies that she was rescuing, and she was just holding them and connecting with them. And so that's how the conversation got started.
Because she couldn't even, like, she couldn't wrap her brain around resting, period. Like, the word, like, you need to rest, she couldn't wrap her head around that. She said, well, I can rest if I have puppies to take care of. Like, it's that taking care of things and people, and like, it's so ingrained in our programming, and that it seems like it's in our DNA. And I think it's part of who we are as women, is to be nurturers, but it also includes nurturing ourselves. And, you know, one of the women in the room last night is a mom, and we were talking about, you know, the resting days that she would have, and where she would go and lay down in her room. And if she went and lay down in her room, her last thought was, oh, I got to make dinner for everybody. And she fell asleep, and she heard her husband close the door and say, mom's resting. And when she woke up, she went out into the living room, and her husband had taken the kids to get dinner, and they were all sitting around the table and eating. And so she got the rest that she needed, and the kids were taken care of. And that was all part of the conversation as well.
Yeah. And the woman that we were saying, who has the our friend who has is having the heart issue, actually, you know, she's a mom of 3 kids, and I believe her kids are, I think it's like 11 and 12, her 2 youngest, or you know, 12 and 13, and she's divorced, and so she doesn't have them full time. And even when she doesn't have them, there's that programming that makes her believe that she just has to keep going and going and going. Like, it's like that Energizer bunny that never has time to recharge, that never has time to rest. And we were talking about how it made her feel. So that's how the conversation was going, right? How it made her feel to actually take that time to have this like forced rest imposed upon her. And that's how the other mom shared about what had happened with her when she had come home from work. She was exhausted. She would do everything with her kids, and her kids are also now grown, in their 20s, but this happened when her kids were in elementary school. And then it got to the point where she literally learned how to rest. And then one of the other moms who was here, we told you we had lots of women in the group. And one of the other moms who was here was talking also about that, and how one of the ways that she goes through life now is she has literally reprogrammed herself, and to the point that she starts her day with meditation. And it's, you know, meditation is a form of doing, but also a form of resting, right? Because it's a form of just listening. So we think that resting is not doing. And so that was part of what the conversation was, is how when we are quiet and when we are still and when we do meditate, and what does that mean? We'll get into that in a second. But when we do meditate, that it actually allows the downloads. I'm saying downloads, I'm trying to think of a different way to say it, but it actually allows information in that we, and I'm going to use the word need, because I actually do believe it's a need that we need to hear. But when we're so busy doing, we actually don't even hear what it is we need to be doing. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's like it's your intuition that's downloading. It's, you know, it's God speaking to you. It's various different, however you want to label it. It's similar and separate, but it like we all have, I think we can all agree that we have intuition, and your intuition is like, it whispers to you. And we all know that the world is so loud. The world is so loud. We were just talking this morning about how there's, if you spent every moment of every day reading, you would never read all of the books that exist. And that was before, I had that thought before YouTube existed, Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, all the content that's put out there. It can be so overwhelming that you're like, well, what's the point? And that's where it's important to listen to yourself to know what's important to listen to or to read or to watch. And what is it that my kids need today? What is it that I need today? And we can't have those downloads when we're go, 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 go.
Yeah. And Alicia, even like what you just said, right? Like where you said, well, you know, there's so much, like, what's the point? So actually, I would even offer that sometimes, I mean, for me, it's not even that I go, oh, what's the point? I actually feel like a failure or a loser because I'm not getting it all done. And then I feel, because I'm feeling so bad about myself, then I don't even, it's like it actually shuts me down. And then I actually end up listening to less and wanting to do less because I feel like, well, if I can't do it perfectly and I can't do it all right, then I may as well not do it at all. And it becomes this like vicious cycle. And that's part of our programming. And, you know, you use the word God, and it's certainly not our intention in any way, shape, or form to impose our beliefs on you. And Alicia and I grew up with very different belief systems. I'm going to use the word imposed. I'm not going to say, but very different belief systems that were taught to us and somewhat imposed on us. But, you know, really it comes down to, you know, whatever it is that you call that force, whether it's God or the universe or source or creator, or, you know, that there is a force that's larger than us. And the intuition, like we talk about our sixth sense. And I think, you know, this is we're still on imperfect mommying, but as women, our sixth senses are truly honed, but we don't tune into that sixth sense.
Yeah.
And when we get quiet, even what I was going to say is I was going to come back to the meditation piece. Like even for me, I remember I got this literally a download in 2017. And the download from the universe was that I needed to meditate. And I have this light like across me, and it feels like it's like, can you see that? It's like, oh, maybe it's on the
I think it's on the screen.
like really throwing me off. Anyway, I got this download to meditate, and I was like, so as Alicia knows, like if I do something, I kind of deep dive, and you know, I do it to, you know, and I was like, meditate, like I'm not a meditator. I don't know how to meditate. So I did what I do, and I bought the books, and I bought for those of you that are old enough to know what a CD is, that I bought CDs, like literally I had a CD player, and I would listen to CDs on how to meditate, and you know, whatever. I was like listening, and I felt like an absolute failure at it because I could not stop my thoughts. I was like, my thoughts won't stop. I'm a failure at meditating. And once I went to, you know, and I, of course, I kept pursuing it because that's what I do. And I ended up in some meditation class. She's laughing at me. And I ended up in a meditation class at this really cool, which is I'm so bummed that it's now this place is closed. But anyway, the time was open, and I went to a meditation class. And one of the things that the meditation teacher said was that, you know, our hearts beat and our lungs breathe and our brain thinks. And so to think that we can turn our heart off, or we can turn our lungs off, or we can turn our brains off, like, it's not going to happen, right? So that's not the goal. And when I learned that, I was like, I don't actually have to stop thinking. What I did learn, however, is that we can control, we actually do have control over, like, if I want my heart to beat faster, I'm going to go for a run, I'm going to go for exercise. Or if I want my heart to slow down, kind of like bringing it full circle to the friend that we were talking about who needed to rest this week, and the rest is the doing, that we can control what happens with our heart rate. We can control what happens with our breathing, which is one beautiful way to meditate. It's just literally to concentrate on the breathing. That's it. Mm-hmm. And every time we feel a thought going away, come back to our breath. And so, so really realizing, because how we think, this programming of how we think of the doing, right? And that resting is not doing, it actually is. So we have that opportunity to have the downloads. And that's one of the things that we have been talking about. And we're going to hear back from you guys. So, once we actually start to build a community and we start to actually have people coming to join us to do this, like, one of the things I did was I ended up getting certified as a meditation teacher. And so no. Okay, you take it from here. I don't think I can. You can and you must.
I need you to write down all of the certifications that you've gotten.
Oh, you didn't know that I was a meditation? Yes, and it was really cool, because when I was I was a volunteer at the Motivating the Teen Spirit, which is a camp, that one of my coaches, Lisa Nichols, it's like her passion. And anyway, that's a whole other story. But I did meditation one morning, which was really cool. I ran the meditation one morning, which was awesome. Amazing. So anyway, we may, so these are the things we want to, like, hear back from you guys, and really, like, create this community. There's a beautiful butterfly. Look, do you see it? Mm-hmm. Butterfly, yeah. So, and create this community for all of us to truly, truly just support each other. Like, that's why we're switching from us just like talking on different topics, but actually creating some
and doing.
Yes, doing. So what we might actually do, you guys, is for some of our communities, we might just sleep. We might just break the blanket. That's what we're going to be doing this morning.
Yeah.
You guys, there's this beautiful white butterfly. Like this, the door is open and it literally just flew inside and out. This is confirmation. I'm not kidding. This is confirmation, you guys, that we need to rest.
Yeah.
We need to rest. That's part of the doing. It's part of the process.
Yeah, because we are human beings and not human doings. So there will be another episode of Imperfect Momming coming for you all on Thursday, and we will be back next Tuesday. So not tomorrow, because today's Monday, but next Tuesday, I believe it's the 8th of August, and we will start our first community. There will be a event in the Facebook group so that you can join, and there'll be a Zoom link and all that kind of fun stuff. If you are listening on the podcast and this sounds interesting to you, our Facebook group is Raising Enlightened Children. And you are welcome to join if you have children, if you are touching a child's life, or if you have an inner child. So that's everybody.
Yes, and we still have our stuff up for August the 12th, right?
Because we do.
Okay, so one of the ideas that we had was actually to run a workshop on Calm the Chaos, and explaining some stuff about like how our brain works and things that we can do to help ourselves and help our kids. And so we're planning to do that on August the 12th, which will be just a workshop. If anybody wants to sign up and register for that, we would love to invite you to that as well.
And that's at alicialyons.com/events until I get the Raising Enlightened Children website updated.
Okay, perfect.
So until we meet again, keep healing.
Keep healing.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for tuning in to Imperfect Momming. It's time for us to step up and realize that our power is not in trying to shape our children. Our power lies in shaping ourselves into the people we want our children to model themselves after. Don't just do it for your kids, do it for yourself. When you become a more self-aware, compassionate, and confident person, you and everyone around you benefit. For more information about me and my work, visit AliciaLyons.com. That's ALYSIALYONS.com. See you next time.